Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Last Wrestling Podcast, because if I have a wrestling podcast, I get to talk about shows that I came home from a little less than an hour ago. Alright, hopefully quick, but probably not, reactions to Wrestle Kingdom, Night 1 in Tokyo Dome. Go to New Japan. Incidentally, that phrasing was nowhere to be found tonight. First of all, the theme song for the show with the Japanese guy doing the pseudo blackface Don King impersonation. Wow, that is a catchy song, and it's good that it's a catchy song because they played it for like an hour between when the doors opened and by the end of the show. So yeah, starting off the New Japan Rumble. Actually, no. More importantly, starting off, credit and thanks to everybody at the Tokyo Dome, from the security staff to the people who were serving the drinks to the people who were doing the cleaning, just to put on a fantastic show. It was a professional operation from top to bottom. They opened exactly when they said they were going to. It was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, New Japan Rumble. Good news. Rocky Romero was really fun. Suzuki was always fun. And, Suzuki Nagata. That was really good because when those two got eliminated, they beat the ever-loving crap out of each other on the way to the back. Apparently this didn't make air, from what the people on the Discord are saying. But yeah, that guardrails were thrown at each other. And I'm pretty sure somebody forgot to smarten up the Tokyo Dome staff, because a couple of the security guys and a couple of the drink girls were, very much reacting to this as if they didn't know it was coming. So, oops. Either or good acting or oops. People were dutifully clapping along with the 10 count. That was nice. Reactions were kind of flat for almost every... Tiger Mask got a good reaction. So did Suzuki. But everybody else was just pretty much flat. It was sort of, oh, cool, that guy's coming out. Or, wait, I think I know this music. Oh, it's that guy. That's cool. And, oh, it's a young lion. Oh, it's a young lion. Oh, it's a young lion. Who's going to throw them out? Oh, it's Fale. Okay, fine. Yeah, seriously, I realized the three young lions were there just to get thrown out by Bad Luck Fale at the end, but maybe spread that out a bit. Give Gabriel Kidd some ring time. And actually give those other two some ring time. They've earned it. And I'm the person who usually pays zero attention to the young lions until they grow a personality, so if I'm complimenting the young lions, that's good news. Two complaints here, other than not showing the Nagata Suzuki stuff. One, save your lies for when you need them. I don't know what they were doing. They said it was 1 minute between entrance. No, it wasn't. Or at least they were fudging the times a bit. Oh, and two, actually, no, so 3 complaints. 1, don't fudge your times if you can avoid it. 2, announce the numbers when you're bringing these people out. Because all that was announced was their faction and their name. So, Chaos, Yoshihashi, something like that. Because I think everybody in the arena completely lost track of what number they were on well before the Young Lions showed up. They did announce Yoshihashi as the last... Sorry, not Yoshihashi. Toriano, Giggles McCheats a lot, as I'm now calling him. They announced him as the last entrant. So, okay. So there's nobody else. That's nice. So yeah, give us numbers. Now let's talk about this finish. All right, the rules were last 4 remaining in the ring are the winners. Keywords, in the ring. Because when Toru Yano comes out, and all of a sudden we've got a final 4 of Chase Owens, who was in there from the beginning because that's what bad guys do. Bad Luck Fale, okay. Bushi, okay. And Toru Yano, who won the match, technically, without ever getting in the ring. I will point out that when Ophidian won a Chikara Infinite Gauntlet as a heel by walking across a room and stepping foot in the ring because everybody else had already been eliminated, one, it was creative, and two, it was a heel thing to do. It was a bad guy thing to do to simply, it was a fluke of the rules. Yano didn't even get in the ring, which, okay, he's not that dumb. Folly's in there. Folly wants to hurt him. I get that. But, ugh. I don't like that Yano's in the Final Four because there's a very good chance this means the KOPW trophy is going to remain as the Giggles McCheats a Lot comedy hour or the comedy 20 minutes. And I don't want that. I want this to be something that maybe not taken completely seriously, but at least used as an outlet for good creativity rather than bad comedy. But I'm outvoted because I realized tonight Japanese fans freaking love Toru Yano, and I just don't get it. Humor is subjective, and humor does not always translate across cultures, but Giggles McCheats a Lot is over, and I have to accept that. Alright, then we have the intro with an appearance by Riki Choshu. Didn't see that coming. We also got the Don King guy. I kind of hope this is a guy who should be the director of fun in Chikara or doing something with Kaiju Big Battle. I don't get the Don King thing. All right, legendary promoter, fine, had something to do with the song. Maybe this is a comedian that I've never heard of before. But if it is, dude, blackface ain't funny. Even if you're not white, blackface ain't funny. Yeah, but the Riki Chosu thing was, that was a nice surprise for the long-term fans. That worked well. I do love the theme song for the show. I'm probably going to find a way to get my hands on it. But yeah, so the intro was the intro. Good work on the lighting. First match on the actual card was the Hiromu wins match, and Hiromu won. El Phantasmo got a good reaction for some of the high-flying moves. I think there was one where he kind of did a senton on Hiromu as Hiromu was prone over the ropes in the corner. That got a big reaction. El Phantasmo spent most of the match trying to get over a gesture where he crosses his hands in a figure X and pretends to be the illegitimate love child of Sean Waltman and Nakamura, and it got people to laugh. And if he was going for laughs, fine. If he was trying to get over the gesture as something cool, fail. And just generally he was El Phantasmo, and that's not a good thing because I look at El Phantasmo and I don't know who the heck this guy is. His entire personality is a jacket, a theme song, and he's foreign and therefore Bullet Club. Grow a character. You've got all the athletic talent in the world. Grow a character. Grow a personality. Go on excursion if you have to. But yeah, Hiromu wins because of course he does. Second match was the tag team title match, our first title change. I predicted that correctly. I actually did pretty good on my predictions. We'll get to the one match that I got wrong a little bit later, and the big thing I got wrong a little bit later. This was the worst match of the show by a country mile, and I didn't fall asleep, but I got pretty close. The bits where Zack Sabre Jr. was in the ring were very good. The bits where Taichi was in the ring were boring. And that's the greatest insult I can give to a wrestling show. It was boring. As for Gorillas of Destiny, how do I describe these guys? They're exactly as good as whoever they're in the ring with. If they're in the ring with somebody better than them, they will rise to the occasion. If they're in the ring with somebody who's not as good as they are, they'll sink to the occasion. They don't slum it. I just think they don't know how to carry anybody to a good match. They have to be, and they don't really have to be carried, but they have to be given tools to work with. And they kind of got both of this with Dangerous Tekkers. When they got to work with Zack Sabre Jr., it was fantastic. When they had to work with Taichi, they were garbage. So, yeah, real 50-50 there. Fortunately, title change, Gorillas of Destiny are the champions. I think I think setting a record with the heavyweight titles. Leaving that in because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, this was the worst match on the show, but it was a pretty good show, so okay. Up next, I was kind of right, which means I was wrong. Jon Moxley shows up on the video screen from what I think is the LA Dojo, or wherever they shoot New Japan Strong, and he says, "I'm the boogeyman of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Everyone's fighting over this contract. Well, you fight amongst yourselves. I'm going to take care of whatever's left." And I don't know. Part of me thought, okay, this is a bluff. That's a pre-record. He's here or he'll be here tomorrow. I don't think so. Didn't show up tonight. No real reason for him to show up tomorrow, which is unfortunate. It also calls out a bit of an elephant in the room. How is he still the champion? New Japan is legendary for stripping champions of titles for the stupidest of reasons if they miss a show. Moxley himself got stripped of the U.S. title because he couldn't physically get into the country because of a typhoon. The typhoon that went through my prefecture and honestly sounded like somebody had woken up Godzilla and pissed in his cornflakes. It was scary. And he gets the title stripped for that. That was a year ago. I think Hiroki Goto got stripped of a title for getting influenza and not being able to make a show when he got stripped. Why now, during COVID, is New Japan being merciful to Moxley when they weren't during the typhoon? Somebody needs to explain this to me. Anyway. Oh yeah, the match between Kenta and Kojima. It was okay. It would have been a good show, a good match on any mid to decent sized card, but it didn't feel Wrestle Kingdom. I think everybody was waiting for Moxley to show up, and he didn't. At least that's what I was waiting for. They tried, but these are just not two guys that can do that right now. Intermission, I stuck in my headphones and played Sudoku for 20 minutes. Tanahashi. Oh. Never bet against the ace at Wrestle Kingdom. Oh boy, this is the only match of the night that I got my prediction wrong. I thought Okan was going to win because he needed the boost. Nope. Japanese ace, decked out in brand new Kamen Rider Saber gear, wins the match. Japanese ace beats the foreign menace. Yay, yay, yay. We didn't get air guitar. I wasn't actually promised air guitar. I wanted air guitar. But in all seriousness, how good is Tanahashi at just leading the crowd by the nostrils? He had everybody in that arena, myself included, doing exactly what he wanted us to do. And it was great. Not as great as the next match, however. Okada Ospreay. So 0-2 for Empire tonight. Way to go, new faction we're allegedly pushing. If they need to win the Never Belt tomorrow. Anyway. I actually really like Ospreay's new character. He's going to get some criticism. By the way, the Commonwealth Kingpin. Whoever came up with that, round of applause. Mwah, chef's kiss. The Commonwealth Kingpin. I love it. That's genius. I see a lot. I see more potential in this character now than I did a while back. I hate that the guy who was, trying to be more Japanese than the Japanese still got shunted into the foreigner and therefore evil gimmick. But he is making the best of this. B. Priestley was gorgeous in that dress tonight. And I kind of like, some people are going to criticize this, but I like that Ospreay was still using most of his big flashy moves. He wasn't doing cheeky Nandos, but he was doing Oz Cutter. He was doing Hidden Blade. He was going for Stormbreaker as a heel, and that makes sense because he's not a bully heel. He's an egotistical heel. He thinks he's got the biggest balls on the planet. So yeah, that kind of a character would keep doing the flashy moves even though they're a bad guy now. He's got to be careful in how he does, and I like that he's included some more high impact stuff, the big power bomb, etc., and of course sending Okada through the tables. Which, by the way, again, credit to the crew, they ran a new table out from the back, a couple of new tables out from the back in between matches, almost as if they had planned this. Ooh, scandal. But wrestling might not be completely legitimate. Um, but still, best match of the night because it had a clearly defined face heel dynamic. And Okada, and I'm surprised by this because as good as Okada is at almost everything, he's not. He's a better promo than he used to be. He's not a great promo. He's really bad at figuring out basic logic puzzles and running away from robots in nice suits. Yeah, Okada was on Run for Money Tosolchu the other day, and he didn't completely embarrass himself, but he did look a little bit dumb with one of the challenges. But well, that's a whole different thing that nobody who's listening to this conceivably could have seen. But Okada has never been really good in the facial features when he's not selling. He can convey "I'm hurt," but he doesn't really convey any other emotions. But all of a sudden, he does pissed off Big Brother really, really well. And that really got to me. Now, of course, I couldn't see most of these facial expressions because I was, way the heck back. But they had the big screens on the round monitor over the rings, so when they did the close-up, everybody in the arena could still see that. So, nice. I think the right guy won in this case, though the Empire is going to need to win the Never Openweight Championship tomorrow in order to make up for this and have some credibility. But I think Ospreay's a guy who can absorb this kind of loss. And if we're only having one night of Okada, it needs to be something good. So, good decision there. Main event time! And one, how long is it going to take them to clean up all that blue glitter? Although the stage, just be brief digression, the stage looked fantastic in the arena. The quality of the LED boards was just shining and gorgeous. The lights were great. The laser effects were great. The fire was great. The pyro, the actual fireworks, scared the shit out of me the first time they blew it off because I didn't see it coming. But while the stage wasn't as big and grand as it was last year, for obvious reasons, money, 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 it looked good. It looked really good. As for the main event, by the way, also during the Okada match, in between the clapping, and there was a lot of clapping, in between the clapping, it was dead silent. We could hear Kevin Kelly, like, crystal clear. And he's at basically second base of the baseball stadium. I'm about halfway up in the stands, and I can hear him clear as a bell. So, I don't even know if that's good or bad at this point, but it was distinctive. I think that may have been the introduction to a lot of the Japanese fans that they do have English commentary, because quite a few people were looking around trying to figure out, hey, wait a minute, why is there a foreigner yelling, don't they know the rules? And, oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, cool. And, or, dude, shut up. But you know what, Kevin Kelly, you do you. You're better than people give you credit for. Jam that jam. Oh wow, I'm making some in-joke references now. Main event. This was the We Like Both Guys match, and this is why I put this slightly below the semifinal because there really wasn't a face heel dynamic. Everybody wanted to cheer Ibushi and Naito. As a matter of fact, most of the clapping was actually in 3-beat repetition. It was, now, was that Ibushi, Ibushi, or was that Naito, Naito? I think it was both. I think the fans loved both of these guys so much, and I've said before, they are kind of a light and dark reflection of each other. But I think Ibushi White is the better match for night 2. So I'm glad with I think they made the correct decision, and frankly, making Ibushi I was about to say grand champion, the double champion. You know what? Naito's quest was to gain the double championship. I don't think it was his story to keep it forever or keep it for that long. And he kept it for most of a year, even with the evil experiment. I think it's good for Naito to not have had too long with the championship. Didn't fit the story they were telling. After the match, I think was my favorite part of the show. As soon as Naito ripped the belts away from the referee, I saw where this was going. But you know what? It was so good. This is how a Japanese style rivalry works. Naito takes the belts, incorporating a very little bit of Lucha Libre culture as well, because I've seen it as a sign of respect in Lucha Libre. When somebody beats you for a belt, you don't give it to the referee. The wrestler who lost, if they respect their opponent, puts it around the waist of the opponent or puts it over their shoulder or hands it to them, something like that. When Naito held out the 2 belts, that was, I don't know if I couldn't tell if he was saying anything, but he didn't need to. That was, okay, amigo. You won. You beat me. These belong to you now, but I'm going to be the one to give them to you because you earned them from me. Not from the referee, not from New Japan, not from the International Wrestling Grand Prix, from me. And I loved it. It was a great moment. It kept Naito babyface, as I do think he still needs to be. They've got plenty of heels in New Japan. They've got new heels coming up. I think we can keep Naito face for now. And it was great. And then Jay White speaking of heels, Jay White comes out and shits all over everything. Dude, you need to work on how to give an English promo to a Japanese audience. People were just sort of sitting there clueless. They had no idea what you were saying. They got the one night part, and they got when you started doing your catchphrases, but other than that was a terrible way to end the show. Thankfully, Ibushi did his promo in Japanese, sort of recapped everything that Jay White had been saying, and was able to send the crowd home happy, because I really think Ibushi, as far as a babyface, as far as a fighting spirit babyface, I think he might be the total package. And I am still predicting him to win tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, it is tomorrow. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I need to get some sleep, so akemashite omedetou gozaimasu, Happy New Year, and today's catchphrase sign-off, oyasumi nasai. Good night.